everybody? Welcome to a new Comic Crusaders podcast, Geek Fest special. Of course, this is number 9 in the mix. Wepa for Geek Fest Yr 8. Shout out to Below. Today, we have an awesome director that actually has a horror film in Geek Fest. Is it horror? Is it comedy? It's probably a mix of both, but it's fire. It gave me 2, oh, snap moments, which I totally love. My man definitely seems to have a passion for that late 70s, early 80s horror the way I saw it. But who are we talking about? It's the one and only Alex Montilla. Wepa, hermano. What up?
Hey, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm doing well. Happy to be here.
And man, bro, I was happy to watch a horror film on Geek Fest. Let me tell you that much, bro. You guys are sick, man. You guys had a couple of scenes that I was like, whoa, I'm a long-time horror fan. Even I was taken aback, like, oh, damn. Oh, I love it. But I loved it. You know what I mean?
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, man, you did a great job. I can't wait till people get a chance to check out Overkill or Geek Fest Yr 8.
Me too.
Even before we get into that, though, want a little bit about yourself before we talk about Overkill. You know, where you hail from and how did you get into horror?
Yeah, so I'm in LA, but I'm from South Florida originally. So went to University of Miami. It's funny, I've always done comedy. Never really did horror movies. I had a friend who made a horror short and recommended I make one. He said that it was a really good way for him to get attention. And I randomly, my brother had an idea for kind of a slasher movie. He goes, where the killer doesn't die and becomes a comedy, like a Looney Tunes kind of comedy. And so I liked the idea, and it kind of fit into what I was trying to do at the time. And then also, get hopefully some attention through the horror genre, because there's such a kind of a built-in audience there that a lot of other things don't have. So it was it kind of was just a perfect serendipity, and I went and made the movie, and it just took me forever, but here it is.
Excellent. And when you say it took you forever, what's forever?
So my brother came up with the original idea in like 2012, I believe. And I wrote it pretty soon after, and then we shot it in 2017, I believe. And we shot for 3 nights and shooting all at night. I'd never shot all at night before.
Oh, wow.
And it was hard.
What type of equipment were you using?
I mean, so I'm very fortunate being in LA and having a lot of people in the industry, that I'm friends with. So I was able to call in a lot of favors. So we had a really nice camera package. We had a red, I believe it was a Dragon.
Ooh.
We had really nice lenses that I don't know enough what to tell you who they are, but I know my DP said they were probably the nicest lenses he'd ever used, and we got a lot of freebies,
beautiful,
through Panavision and all these kind of companies. So we had a lot of really good equipment, but it took us, we didn't even finish in those original 3 nights, so we had to go back and do some reshoots, and basically it took 2 years to finish editing and visual effects, and it was a nightmare, but very happy with how it turned out, and it was all worth it.
It's definitely bound to give some people nightmares, because this MFer is relentless.
Yeah, he won't stop.
Did you have any influences in mind when you were putting this together initially?
Yeah, so I watched all the Friday the 13th movies. Those were probably the because I've always found those movies to be very fun. They are. Yeah, like when people talk about horror, I have a hard time when people say like, "Oh, I got scared by X, Y, and Z." For the most part, like, not saying that there aren't movies that have fear to them and all that, but like a lot of horror to me is kind of, it's like comedy, where it's like the kind of up and down and roller coaster of it, and so it's more fun to me than anything. And so I wanted to kind of capture that, where it's like I'm not trying to like Hereditary or something, or Midsummer, or like those movies I understand are trying to go for scare you. I was trying to go for thrill, kind of fun, and thanks. And I know, in screenings, like when there's people who shriek or jump or whatever, it's great. I mean, it's perfect, and I get that. But like, to me, I want it to be more kind of a laugh at the end of it, which I think those Friday the 13th movies really have. The tongue in cheek. So that was kind of the biggest influence. And then I did the music with my co-composer.
Oh, nice.
So we watched a lot of the John Carpenter stuff for music cues. Kind of, that was a big influence there.
Excellent, because for me, I saw a fusion of a Mr. Myers and a Mr. Voorhees here.
Yeah,
the tenacity with the unwillingness, the unstoppableness of you will. It was like the juggernaut of horror monsters here.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that was actually on purpose too. If you notice, he's wearing the jumpsuit and the shirt just like Michael Myers, and then I gave him the face shield, kind of hockey mask style, like Jason. I watched all those movies. I tried to put some Freddy in there, but because he doesn't talk, I was like, there's not really much Freddy I can do. So.
See, and Freddy is one of the most, for me, humorous of all the horror icons. He is comedy.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's got one-liners.
Yeah, he's ill. But with that, folks, you guys want to see what we're talking about? Yeah, guys want to look a tease? Let's check out the Overkill Geek Fest trailer.
In 1978, Michael came home for Halloween. In 1980, Jason doomed Fridays forever. And in 1984, Freddy became the ultimate nightmare. Now in 2019, get ready to meet the most horrifying of them all. This guy.
We gotta go.
What?
He's here. I saw him.
You think maybe we should get out of here?
Wow.
Some killer dude shows up. Protect him.
I think all my friends are dead. I think he killed them.
Overkill. Coming soonish.
I love that whole ground height house. Jeez, heist. Look at me. Can't even fucking speak. This movie got me going. Grindhouse look. Really love it. Does look good.
Thank you.
That trailer's fire. And you showed one of the scenes that had me because I can't deal with things that have to do with eyes.
Yeah.
Oh man. And that goddamn poker scene. I was like, oh god damn, what are you doing?
Do you want to hear a fun story about that?
Right.
So we shot that scene, and the card, that you put into the camera, didn't, after we shot that whole scene, there was nothing on the card. And so that's like, as you know, it's one of the biggest gags in the movie, like practical effects and all that. Like it was a lot of work to shoot, and it just didn't work. And I was like, oh no. So the first version of this movie didn't have that scene in it. I took the card home and just treated it like it was like a hard drive, and I was trying to recover information, and I spent like days on it. And I took it back to Panavision, and they said they couldn't do it. And I was able to get all of the footage from it, and I was crying. I was like, we just shot the best scene in the movie, and it's not even in the movie. But thankfully, we got it. But we actually had to stop shooting that night. So there's there's little things that bother me that no one would notice, we didn't get a reverse on her screaming, and some stuff I really wanted to get that we weren't able to get. But I'm just happy that the fire poker stuff's in the movie, because I think it's with an audience, it's one of the best gags. It is. Reaction.
That had me messed up. I was, oh god, no! And especially that, because if you remember the Dario Argento films, there was that one scene that were pushing this girl towards like a branch, and it was really slow motion, and the eyes getting close on the branch. So I'm going like this, and my wife's like, "You are such a punk." And listen, I could watch people get torn apart. Just please don't. No eyes. I don't know why. It just gets me. It gets me really bad.
It's kind of an homage to, I think it was Friday 13th 4 or 5 with the machete, and he slides down it. That was where I wanted to bring that in.
Yeah, that was really well done, man. A lot of the effects were really well done. There was a scene there where homie threw a knife. I'm like, bro, is this guy Puerto Rican?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, no wonder, bro. So he's the killer Puerto Rican, because he really knows how to work a knife. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no, he is not. He's a very tall white boy.
But he's a murderous white boy. Very funny.
Yeah.
He didn't stop. I like the actress. Your cast was great. That main actress. Especially as you see what's happening, that from that very first, and you think it's over. No, it's not.
It's not over. Yeah, she's great. She's South African, actually. She does,
really?
but her American accent's very good. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. How did you get this cast? I mean, were these homies, or did you do some work there on getting them?
So the killer was my roommate in college. He's not really an actor, although I guess now he is. He's now technically an award-winning actor. We just won best villain at a film festival.
Whoa! So, congrats!
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying, Al. This is gonna be hot, yo. Overkill is so much fun. I want to see this as a feature. So.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I have a pitch that I'm hoping at some point to talk about. But so for the cast, so yeah, he was my roommate. He's just very tall. He's 6'9", and so it's like, so I'm gonna put you in a mask, just walk around, and he's a good sport. And then the girl was in a short film that my old neighbor made, and I thought she was really good, and I had her audition, and she was great. I loved working with her. The guy in the Miami Dolphins jersey, the little,
man, what a herb! As soon as I saw, I was like, oh my god, this is so 80s. This dude.
He's my buddy from my flag football team, and so and then everyone else just auditioned or were friends of friends. But
okay,
yeah.
No, but that homie with the Dolphins, he was so funny, and
yeah,
they're like the most disturbed woke white people that they just don't understand. They just saying things to say. I'm like, ageism is the new racism. When they said that, and I love how the African American actor had there just looks at the girls like, no, it's not. Like that. You crazy?
Yeah, woke bro, the jock. I always called him woke bro.
Woke bro, I love it. That should have been on the jersey. Woke bro.
Yeah.
Add that in the future. Woke bro.
I will. Woke bro. That's my new. I'm trademarking here right now.
Yeah, well, it was funny, man. It's great. Where did you shoot this whole joint? Over those 3 nights.
Well, we shot in Pasadena. My friend has a house in Pasadena that has these 3 levels, and so because it's on a hill, and so the house itself is in the middle, and then up above it is just this little part of a hill, that looks kind of woodsy. I mean, basically, if we shot to the left a little bit, you'd see houses, and if we shot to the right a little bit, you'd see the Rose Bowl, and so. Damn. And so it was a perfect spot, but we had to be kind of careful with the shots. But it looks like we're in the middle of nowhere, which is great. We had to remove later on a couple little lights in the background that you could see, but I mean you can't tell. So
no, but great. You've done a great job here.
And
I'm asking you before for your social media and stuff. I mean, this is where you got to follow Alex right here and keep up to date. So you won your first award. So how did you get involved with Geek Fest, man? What happened there?
I mean, we've been doing festivals. I mean, it's so funny. It feels like it's been forever now because of COVID. This was going to be about a year of festivals, and now it's going to be about 2 because everything keeps getting postponed and all that. And so thankfully that's starting to pick up again. But I submitted. I submitted to Geek Fest. Thought it seemed like a great kind of mix of things, specifically because it's not just one festival. You get to kind of tour and get it to a wider audience. So I submitted and was fortunate enough to get it in. So
excellent, man. Are you a comic fan at all?
Yeah, I mean, I was more as a kid, but yeah.
Yeah, I see. Isn't that GL back there in suit?
It is. Oh, you see that? Yeah.
So I'm asking, wait a minute. So you're a DC man, it looks like, huh?
Well, okay. So this is what's so funny. I normally have a digital background, but I didn't know how to do it on here because I don't normally do this. That's why you'll notice my clothes on the floor right there. I tried to make this look as nice as possible, but yeah, this is actually a painting a girlfriend of mine made of me for me when I was in high school. Oh, and it's always traveled with me. But yeah, I always loved Green Lantern, the way it looked. I like the artistry and the way it was drawn. So. And
is that Leatherface to your left?
To my left. Oh wait, right here?
No. Side.
Oh wait, over here.
There you go. Yeah, on the wall.
No, that's Charlie Chaplin.
Oh wow, I look like Leatherface from me. He look all messed up.
yeah. My friend is an artist. His name's Greg Arbach. Everyone should check him out. He's great. But he takes newspapers and makes a collage of newspapers and then spray paints over them. So that's Charlie Chaplin on a collage of newspaper.
Gotcha. From this side, it looks like a zombie Chaplin.
That's funny.
I want to see that now. Come on, man. The Montilla verse and bring in
zombie. I love that idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that Montilla verse, bro. So we're talking about Geek Fest Yr. Before we move on, let's show some love to Bill and Geek Fest with this commercial, real quick. do, make sure to visit geekfestla.com. So tune into everything that's happening in year 8, which includes Overkill, of course, by the one and only Alex Montilla. Sounds gangster, Montilla. Like instead of Montana, Montilla. You know?
I still like saying, look at the pelicans fly, though. I'm wearing the shirt, too.
I see you, boy. Trying to look like Magnum PI, though, right there.
Yeah, a little bit.
So what can we expect from you else? Okay, you say you have something in the works, hopefully a pitch deck, right, to do a feature, but is there anything else you're working on now that we could look forward to?
Yeah, I actually, so during all this, a couple of friends and I have been making like little shorts, and some of them have turned out pretty good. I might submit them to some festivals and stuff, but yeah, just trying to keep busy and shoot stuff. And I've been writing a bunch of stuff, and just hoping something hits, But hopefully a couple little shorts kind of coming out soon, and then after that, ideally some features. I wrote a feature with a friend that's in some vague elements of production or pre-production rather. So hopefully there's some big news about that coming out soon. But we were lucky enough to be finalists in some pretty big screenwriting competitions, and some producers have it now, and hopefully you guys see that soon.
Yeah, I'm proud, man. Seeing a Latino doing his thing like that, kicking some ass. It's amazing. It's great. It's inspiring, bro. So with these shorts that you've done, recently during COVID, are they in the comedy, horror genre, slice of life? So a little bit of everything.
So that's what's so funny is, like I was mentioning, like I pretty much had only done comedy. When I was in college, I co-directed a kind of horror-y thing, but for the most part, I was always just doing comedies. Because of Overkill, I reconnected with a friend who I hadn't seen in a long time, and he has this club where every 2 months you make a short horror movie, and it's not like competition, but it's just like to just go make something, and then we all get together, have some drinks, watch the movies, and it's just a good time. And so I've been using that as an excuse to kind of do some more horror stuff and like flex my muscles is kind of what he always says, but flex the muscle of making horror movies. So yeah, the last 2 little shorts I made have both been horror movies, which is so funny because, like I mentioned, it's just not. I'm becoming like the horror guy, and it's like I feel like a fraud. But at the same, I've always loved horror movies, but like I mentioned, my style of horror is kind of comedic. Like I've always found it to be kind of funny. So I'm not trying to go make like the art house, Hereditary kind of horror movie. Well, I like those,
but there's been comedians stepping into the world of horror. I mean, Jordan Peele did it big time.
Yeah, of course. Well, that was my favorite movie that year. But that's exactly like the satirical aspects of horror have always appealed to me. So
yeah, like I can't wait to see what Chris Rock does with Saw.
That's going to be weird, I think.
Right? I got to see what he's thinking here, bro.
I'm mostly interested because I think Sam Jackson plays his father. And it's like, I think they're only like 7 years apart.
Oh, really?
It's wider than that. But yeah, like that movie's going to be interesting, but we'll see. But yeah.
Yeah, listen, I'm a big fan of horror, so I love to see all different takes as possible.
Horror's great, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's fun. I think it's something you could experiment with the most.
I mean, I just love genre films of any kind, because there's so much you can do with it, right? Like, I mean, even action, comedy, any of that stuff. Like, to me, the last thing I want to be is boring. So as much as I appreciate good drama and all that, like. I mean, this is the example I always use. Like Schindler's List is the most serious movie you can possibly ever make or think of. But what people forget is the first half of Schindler's List has a lot of comedy in it because it has to bring you in to like really care about this character that by the end it's this tragedy and all that stuff. So like, if you're boring and it's just like real straight serious all the time, it's just not going to be fun. So something like horror or comedy or any of that is a good way to like loop you in, keep you entertained. And then you can get into other stuff. You can make like Get Out, which has a lot of comedy in it, has a lot of horror in it, but it's obviously got a bigger message and it does that all through the vehicle of entertainment. So that's ideally what I'd like to do too.
I think it's not what you like to do. You're doing it, and it's only going to get bigger and better.
I hope.
But you have a fan in me, bro.
Oh, great!
If you're going to have stuff like Overkill coming out and even more, and I mean, it was just wild. It was that short film was a wild ride.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Again, it's just seeing somebody's. It's just the tenacity of the character. He just kept coming at you.
Yeah, he doesn't
And
stop.
it has those humorous scenes with the girl where she, at one point, is no longer fearful. It's like, okay, how can I get rid of this MFer?
Yeah, exactly. That's
But the
exactly
thing
right.
is, do we get rid of him? Because listen, again, this guy seems to be unstoppable. Please, folks, when you watch this film, you guys are gonna have a great time. You guys are definitely gonna jump. And there's more than two oh shit moments, because you know that the poker, the Puerto Rican scene with the knife. I mean, that's one thing, man. That scene. How long did that take to edit when he chucked that knife? Because the timing of and all of it, of how it entered the person, if you will.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, that was well done, man. It's
Thanks.
Smacks. I like it.
Yes. So it's like a minute and a half. I think it's a one shot. And we only shot like 4 or 5 takes of it. I think it didn't. The timing of the shot itself didn't take that long. But I mean, exactly right. What took forever was getting the visual effects done, because it's a ton of visual effects. We had to add, the machete flying at the end. Or well, so okay, those are the shot of the machete flying and all that was not in the one shot. Those were separate shots, but that was easy because there's nothing there. To have my guy put that in took a while, and then to do that one shot after it, was the machete in the head. It was the glass on the windows, the moonlight. Like there's a ton of visual effects all through there. So that whole sequence definitely did take a while on the back end, but to shoot didn't take very long. But,
and it came out well, I'll tell you. I was like,
you.
oh, damn, nice. And that's when I thought immediately, and I even wrote it down, bro. I even wrote it down. It's the killer Puerto Rican. Knife throwing scene is EPR right there.
Well, I'll tell my dad. He'll be proud of his people.
Oh, like, wepa, estamos tirando cuchillo como unos locos. And one other, and again, and the humorous part about that is there was an interaction between the main actress and her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. When they were about to do something, he's going to go reach into his bag, talking about, I have a consent form. I'm like, what? Like, I started thinking, like, this is something that's going to really be happening one day.
Oh, yeah, that's the future, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, everybody, do you agree? Please tap here.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is that stuff originally in the script was more just straightforward, just kind of the teens out in the woods. And my producer, Kyle, was the one who said, what if you made them all like super woke millennials? That was his idea, because there was like a touch of that in there, but it wasn't a lot. And this was also, again, I mean, when we were getting ready to make this was like 2016. So this was, it was going on, but it wasn't like it is today. So even when we shot it and all that, like when it came out in 2019 and it has been playing through 2020 and 2021, it's just growing. It's to the point where now people think I'm trying to make some like real big commentary. And I was like, it was just to be silly, when we shot this 4 years ago, but
that's
crazy.
The problem with people, they take shit too seriously. Sometimes we do shit just to do it. That's all.
Yeah. And it's
nothing else behind
something else. Yeah.
Yeah, people are just nuts. They read too much into things. Everything's a goddamn conspiracy. Gente loca, coño. But está bien. It's all right. So long as we have crazy directors like you doing crazy good films like Overkill, we're in a good place.
That's right.
So Alex, well, right here, folks, you see Alex right there on the bottom on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at AK Montilla, like the AK-47, right?
That's right. Yeah, my middle name is Keith, but yeah, we'll go with AK-47.
There we go, man. AK, yeah, you're a gangster right here. So visit him at akmontilla.com. Make sure that you want to stay up to date all about the film and check out the trailer and all. Overkillfilm.com, and of course, show some love to our boy Big Billo, man behind Geek Fest LA, and bring in awesome directors like Alex.
Yeah, thanks, Geek Fest.
To our world, man, and introducing, because again, I'm grateful, and I've been blessing a lot of amazing films by very talented folks, including yourself. So, thank you for what you do, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you for entertainment. Thank you for taking me out of here. Thank you for making me laugh.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It was awesome. So, any last things you want to leave the folks with when it comes to film production? Any piece of advice?
Piece of advice. Yeah. 2 quick things. 1, make stuff. If you want to make stuff, just go make stuff. It's so easy now. All the shorts I'm shooting lately, I'm shooting on my phone. Like, it's very doable. And then secondly, something I heard Robert Rodriguez say that always stuck with me is use what you have available to you. Like I think he mentioned, he had access to this small town in Mexico and a bus, and that's how he made El Mariachi. So
El Mariachi,
yeah. So like it's just use what you have. I had access to a house that looked like it was in the middle of the woods, and so I made Overkill.
So thank God for good friends, right?
Yes.
That and supportive friends at that. You're blessed, bro. So again, folks, show it one more time. Overkillfilm.com and check him out. AK Montilla, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and his website. And of course, lastly, once again, visit GeekFestLA.com to check out where you can take a look at all these amazing films and more. Yeah. Alex, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
brother.
you. I appreciate it,
man.
Thanks so much for all the kind words.
No, bro. You're right, bro. Pa'lante. Boricua, baby. That's right. And with that, I'm out, Mega, para que tú sepas, huepa. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Much love.
Bye.
Thank you. We hope you've enjoyed this Comic Crusaders production. For real-time news on all things pop culture, please feel free to follow us on social media. For articles, original content, merchandise, and more, please go to www.comiccrusaders.com. Also follow along with all of the websites of the Comic Crusaders family. As always, if you like this content, please click like and subscribe to the Comic Crusaders YouTube channel.